You know someone like this. Maybe it's you. Someone gives you a compliment, and your brain immediately starts running diagnostics. What do they want? What's the angle? That instinct didn't just appear out of nowhere. Last time somebody helped you, no strings attached, what was your actual first reaction? Not the polite thank you, the split second before that. Something in you started calculating, and that calculation happened faster than you could stop it. Psychologists call this dispositional skepticism. It's not a bad day. It's how your brain got wired to read people. And there's a reason it wired that way. Your brain treats a threat from 5 years ago the same way it treats one from yesterday. That's not broken. That's survival. You learned once the stove burns. You didn't need to touch it twice. Betrayal works the same way. If you grew up around people you couldn't predict, adults warm one day and cold the next, your brain didn't sit there confused. It adapted. Started tracking patterns, reading tone, watching body language, anything to avoid getting blindsided again. A kid who knows from footsteps whether to stay in their room, that's not paranoia. That's survival intelligence at the highest level. The problem is, survival mode doesn't shut off when the danger's gone. It just keeps running. So now you're on a date. Conversation's fine, you're both laughing. But somewhere under all that, your system's still scanning. The same system from when you were 9. And it doesn't feel like old trauma. It feels like common sense. Like you're just smart enough to see what everyone else is missing. From the outside, it looks like walls, like you're impossible to get close to. But sit with someone like this long enough, and what you find isn't arrogance. It's exhaustion. Someone who's been caught off guard enough times that surprise itself became the red flag. Like kindness was just the opening act for something worse. Here's where it gets messy. There's this thing called behavioral confirmation. What you expect from people changes how you treat them, and how you treat them makes them act exactly how you expected. You assume someone's going to pull away, so you hold back first. Overthink every text. Don't let yourself invest because why bet on something that's obviously going to fail? They feel that distance. They match it. Now the relationship is exactly as cold as you predicted. You look at that and think, see, I was right. And you were. You just don't see the part where you helped build the thing you were afraid of. Mark Snyder and William Swan documented this in 1978. The takeaway? We're not just observing reality, we're helping create it. And that's uncomfortable, because it means we're not always as objective as we think. Here's what it feels like on the inside. It doesn't feel like fear, it feels like clarity. Like you're the only one awake while everyone else sleepwalks through life, trusting people they shouldn't. But there's a loneliness nobody talks about. When you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, you're never actually present for the good parts. Someone says they care, and you're already half convinced it's temporary. Filing it away like evidence, wondering how long until it stops being true. You don't want to think like that, but you do anyway. Here's the other side. Skepticism, real skepticism, is not a weakness. People with this wiring are harder to manipulate. They spot inconsistencies others miss, ask questions no one thought to ask. And when they do trust you, it actually means something. Most people frame this as damage. It's not. It's a smoke detector. The issue isn't that you have one, it's that it's still calibrated for a house that burned down 10 years ago. I'm not giving you some clean ending because that wouldn't be honest. What research shows is something called repeated disconfirmation. You take small risks, extend a little trust, it gets honored, you do it again. Slowly, very slowly, you start building proof that contradicts what your brain's been assuming all these years. Your brain learned this through experience. It unlearns it the same way. There's no shortcut. A therapist once said something that stuck. The goal isn't to trust everyone. It's to be wrong about a person once in a while without it shattering your entire sense of judgment. Because for someone wired like this, being wrong about somebody doesn't feel small. It feels like proof you can't even trust yourself. That's the real weight. That's what the scanner's protecting. If any of this landed, if you saw yourself in the distance, in the hesitation, in keeping good things at arm's length, ask yourself one question. Did this pattern serve you once? Absolutely. Is it still serving you now? Or is it just running on autopilot, keeping you safe from things that aren't actually coming anymore? That's not rhetorical. Actually answer.